Receive a simple one-page application form as well as helpful ways to leave important messages for your family. Call 1-800-789-9553.
Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information.
I love you, but no more waiting.
Call now, 1-800-789-9553.
NBC4 News at 11 a.m. starts now.
Now at 11, grab your jacket before you leave the house. Those strong, gusty winds are sticking around through the weekend. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Annabelle Sedano. Parts of Southern California are under wind advisories and warnings. And the air that's whipping around is brisk. This is a look at Anaheim Hills. Right now, high-profile trucks and other cars are especially vulnerable during these wind events. This is video from Castaic today. We spoke with a truck driver who says the amount of cargo he has in his truck matters.
It is really dangerous when it's empty. When you're empty, you gotta be slow and real careful. Loaded, you just gotta hang on tight and go slow.
He says that's why on days like today, you'll see a lot more trucks pulled off to the side and off the road. Our meteorologist Kelly Moody is here. She's tracking those conditions for us. All right, Kelly, so we all want to know how much more of these winds are we expected to have this weekend?
They're staying for a couple days, Annabelle. So, and here's the other thing. They'll also be really consistent. Gusty winds that stick with us through today into tomorrow, and they even linger into our Sunday. Right now, we're not seeing a lot of wind, though, for downtown LA. In fact, things are pretty calm, and we're likely to keep it that way over the next couple of days. The Los Angeles Basin is actually one of the few spots that isn't going to be under a wind advisory or a high wind warning, but almost everywhere else is going to be feeling that. Right now, 58 degrees, though. We're certainly feeling the impacts here of some of that chilly air that came down from the northerly winds. We're watching as these winds continue to take on a bit more of a Santa Ana flow throughout the rest of this weekend. Now, until Sunday afternoon, we could easily be seeing those sustained winds between 25 to 40 miles per hour, gusts up to 65 miles per hour, especially for those spots highlighted in gold there. That's where we've got that high wind warning. You can see that also includes the Santa Susana Mountains down toward Malibu. Otherwise, most of us are under a wind advisory. Here's a quick look at our current wind gusts, or at least the most recent ones that we've got readings on. Gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour for Riverside, getting close to 40 mile per hour wind gusts in Santa Clarita. We will continue to see these pretty strong gusts over the next several hours for spots like Thousand Oaks, continuing to peak during the afternoon hours, getting a little bit weaker as we head into the evening, but still by tonight, gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour. I'll give you a full scope of what we're expecting to see for those winds all across town coming up in the next few minutes. Annabelle?
All right, Kelly, we'll stay tuned for that. And a reminder, now is a good time to download our NBC LA app. You can get weather alerts sent straight to your phone. We're following breaking news out of Minnesota. We've just obtained new cell phone video of the moment an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. The deadly encounter has sparked fallout and protests nationwide. Meantime, authorities in Minnesota are renewing their demands that they be part of this investigation. NBC4's Ted Chen is live in the newsroom with that new cell phone video. Ted.
Annabelle, NBC News has obtained what appears to be video shot on the cell phone belonging to Jonathan Ross, the ICE officer who shot Renee Good. It appears to show the interaction between him and Renee Good, as well as the passenger, Renee's wife. The only adjustment we've made to the video is removing the profanity. We do want to warn you, the video is difficult to watch.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the Get out of the car.
That was Renee Good in the vehicle, her wife shooting on the cell phone, and that camera angle coming from Jonathan Ross. State, federal, local officials continue to disagree what these videos mean, who has jurisdiction, and whether Agent Ross can actually be prosecuted. State investigators said the FBI has cut them off from the investigation into that shooting, and now local and federal authorities are clashing over whether the agent involved has immunity. Homeland Security identified the ICE agent as former Border Patrol officer and Iraq vet Jonathan Ross, who you saw from the video point of view, and allegedly shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good. Federal officials say Good attacked Ross with her vehicle, but protesters and local officials say Ross should be prosecuted. Vice President J.D. Vance said Ross has, quote, absolute immunity from state prosecution, but the local district attorney says he does not.
Let me be clear here. We do have jurisdiction to make this decision that happened in this case where her life was taken in Hennepin County. It does not matter that it was a federal law enforcement agent. To be sure, there are complex legal issues involved when a federal law enforcement officer is involved. But the law is clear. We do have jurisdiction to make this decision.
A Border Patrol agent shot and injured 2 people during an immigration operation in Portland yesterday. The Department of Homeland Security says after identifying themselves, an agent fired after the driver tried to run them over. Portland's mayor says he wants ICE out of his city until a full and independent investigation can take place. Meanwhile, protests against ICE continue in Orange County. An organization that calls itself Voices of Orange and Villa Park held their weekly protest in Orange. The group says it is fighting fascism and holding elected officials accountable. I'm Ted Chen, live in the newsroom. Annabelle, back to you.
A lot to digest there, Ted. Thank you so much for that update. And you can read more on the protests fueled by shootings involving federal immigration agents on our NBCLA website. We have a section dedicated to live updates on our homepage. Meantime, there's also a call to end federal immigration enforcement in Altadena. 1 year after the Eaton fire, community organizers say they want protections for immigrant workers who are helping rebuild homes. NBC4's Brittany Hope is there live. Brittany.
Hey, Annabelle, good morning. So these are the grounds of 2 lots that burned in the fire. And the owner tells us that what used to be her home, both of these lots, they're now serving as a community gathering place and a safe place for immigrant workers, and that's why these signs are posted all around the property. She is working with organizations here to teach how to decontaminate soil on destroyed properties like hers, a step she says is vital before rebuilding homes begins. Groups like the National Day Laborer Organizing Network, the Pasadena Community Job Center, and the Dina Soil Project are here today demanding an immediate end to immigration enforcement in disaster-impacted communities. One organizer told us many workers are scared to come to fire zones to work out of fear, and those fears are slowing down the rebuilding process.
And this is the hypocrisy that we're challenging every day. That our country is willing to accept migrant labor, but our country is not willing to accept our humanity and give us our rights. And yet, we keep showing up because we believe in what is right.
And they showed up again today. The soil decontamination you're watching happening in real time is not just to protect the future of the people who live here once a home is rebuilt. We're told really the most urgent need is to make sure that there's not anything toxic in the soils here so that crews who are to clear debris and to start building homes, many of those crews, including immigrant day workers, are safe and don't get sick. Reporting live in Altadena, Brittany Hope, NBC4 News.
All right, Brittany, thank you very much for that. Several groups are helping rebuild Altadena. The LA Rises recovery effort was created about a year ago. Today, volunteers are out with Habitat for Humanity working to rebuild this home on East Pine Street.
A year later after the fires, and we know that there's still so much need, but just like people came together immediately after the fires happened, we're still coming together. People are volunteering, they're serving, and we're out here to make a difference.
The focus of LA Rises is to make sure all of the wildfire victims get an equal chance to rebuild. Governor Gavin Newsom recently announced $1.5 million in funding for the initiative. It will help support the construction of 25 new homes and the repair of 12 additional homes in Altadena. The LA City Council is meeting for its first session of the year with a focus on the Palisades. The agenda today includes proposals to permanently waive permit fees for property owners who want to rebuild. Permits and fees associated